George Trapp driving down the middle. Chamberlain flies. Watch that out of bounds. He is awesome. Malone passes deflected. Going to be stolen, I think, by the doctor. Yes, he's got it. Here he comes. Ray rocked the baby to sleep and slam dunk.
All right, here's Dennis. Gets it into Bird. Larry, a runner. Got it! Ball game's over. Boston wins. Here's Jordan for three. Yes!
Bryant to shot.
Oh! LeBron James, with no regard for human life, has given the Cavaliers their biggest lead tonight. It's off to Leonard, defended by Simmons. Is this the dagger?
This is WHPC Sports Talk.
Yup. The NBA made its glorious return to the world of sports yesterday. Hope you enjoyed the games last night. The local teams, the Knicks and Nets, kick off the season tonight. We got a jam-packed show for you today. The Yankees move on to the ALCS. Got more Jets and Giants to talk as there are actually good teams this year. And we got a whole NBA preview show for you today. Welcome into WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. You know what day it is?
Hump Day! Yeah!
Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the show. Joshua Yamahi hosting. With me, I have Nico Each. What's going on?
Oh, it's Hump Day, baby.
It's Hump Day.
Love Hump Day.
You love Hump Day?
Love Hump Day.
Big Hump Day guy?
Big Hump Day guy.
Let's go.
Love humping.
Let's go. Okay. Okay. Corey David, what's going on?
Nothing much, man. Y'all wild.
Y'all.
You don't like to hump?
Yeah.
Not a big humper?
Yo.
Eric Williams, what's going on?
You see how they starting wild?
Eric, you know you like to hump.
Oh, look.
Come on, my guy.
Look.
Hump's your middle name,
Why
bro.
are we talking about this?
Eric over there, like, don't attach none of this to me whatsoever. Ross
You like my name
Levine.
Bennett and I ain't in it.
My name Paul, that's
good.
between y'all.
I'm doing good.
You doing good?
I'm doing okay.
You doing okay?
Yeah, I mean,
Ross!
my Rangers are playing pretty good.
Yo,
3-1.
Ross, hold on.
My Giants are 5-1. Can't be.
His teams are winning.
Ross,
His teams are winning.
the
yeah.
Rangers look nice. The Yankees are moving on to the championship series. The Giants are 5-1. I need a little more excitement out of you, bro.
How are you not jumping
Come
off
on,
the
bro.
rolls
I'm
right
just
now?
pissed
He's
off at the fact that the Mets are not even in this tournament. They should be. They won 101 games. I'm still annoyed at
You know
that.
what? They weren't good enough. So
That I agree with.
No,
that. I'm starting to feel that too.
was a fifth, we will all be drunk. Unfortunately, as I predicted, they would choke.
You got a fifth over there, Corey?
No, I do not.
Oh, man.
But if I did, I would give it to Nico.
Yo, I don't think he's the right age for that, Corey. You might want to rethink that take over there.
yeah, Corey.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Illegal.
On that note, let's
No,
get to...
my bad. I'll give him some Kool-Aid jammers.
You can pass me the fifth. It's okay. I'll take a... Yeah, sports. Sports. We mentioned it. The New York Yankees. They are moving on in a series that I think everyone thought went a little bit longer than it was expected. But yesterday wasn't really a contest. We had the game going on during the show yesterday. Yep, it was 4-0 before you knew it, and the Yankees rode Nestor Cortez, rode the bullpen to a 5-1 victory in Game 5 to move on to the championship series. And Ross, it's like we predicted all season long. Yankees, Astros. The Astros were going to be their only obstacle towards the World Series, and it's played out that way. And we will get that game tonight, right away.
Yeah, the Yankees. It was surprising that series against the Guardians went 5 games. It shocked me. I thought the Yankees would sweep them or win 4.
Why do you think the series went longer than it did?
The Yankees blew Game 3. That had a lot to do with it. They didn't manage that bullpen particularly well. I mean, that's again, you said it on the piece of paper. They did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
The Yankees were definitely the better team than the Guardians for sure. And by the way, in terms of like Terry Francona, like that is the ultimate tank job in Game 5. You're telling me you pitch a guy that hasn't pitched for 2 weeks, a guy that has a 5 ERA over Shane Bieber? Like, can you explain that to me? And you didn't challenge that play at first base. I mean, there's a few, like, again, give the Yankees their credit. they took advantage, but the Guardians, like, I feel like they just handed it. Like, it was like, here, take it. Take your win. We're focusing on the future, not the present.
Right. Ross, you brought it up, and I'm not the biggest baseball head, so maybe you can help explain this to me, but I'm really confused on Terry Francona's move not to pitch Shane Bieber. I mean, after the rain delay happens on Monday,
right?
You think I almost called them the name I'm not supposed to call them, the Guardians. You think they're supposed to go out and pitch Shane Bieber? He has an extra day of rest. Right. Throw him out there to start the game against Nestor Cortez, who's been great this year. No, you go with some nondescript who we knew the Yankees could get to. Yeah, after Shane Bieber pitched well early in the series. I don't get it. I don't understand that move. I really don't.
Yeah, it doesn't make. It doesn't make any sense that they did that. And again, the first two guys that got on base for the Yankees with a walk, 4 pitches, and a hit by pitch. So, and that's because, again, they put out a guy that hasn't pitched in 2 weeks, who had a 5 ERA, doesn't have great command, and I don't know. It was. I wish it was like a little more like both teams wanted it. It seems like one team wanted it and the other team was kind of like, here, take it. Like, we don't want it. I don't know. Yeah. That's me. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just the way it looks.
No, in my opinion, you're 100% right, because if you have a winner-take-all game against a 99-win Yankees team, I don't understand not pushing all your chips in the middle of the table and going for it. So I agree with you. I think Terry Francona really failed this team there. And like I said, the Yankees got to this guy for the Guardians really early. Stanton, a big 3-run home run. Judge followed that up with a home run in the second inning. Listen, the big guys in the lineup, we talked about it. In a winner-take-all situation, the guys you're paying the most money to, you need to have them to step up in a Game 5 or a Game 7 in the ALCS if it comes to that against Houston. And yesterday, Stanton, Judge, they did just that with those 2 home runs. And now, how are you feeling about the ALCS that starts tonight, Ross? You have Yankees Astros, like we said. You're adding Peraza, Montas to the roster for the American League Championship Series. You have Tyone opening the game as it was supposed to be on Monday. I know the Astros have really been the favorite in the American League all season. Well, not all season long after that great start by the Yankees, and they hit that slide, and the Astros hit their stride. I don't know. It's here now, so how are you feeling about the series coming up?
I think based off of home advantage, and that doesn't always mean everything, but I think Houston could win this series in 6. Okay. 6 or 7. I feel like the Yankees benefited a lot from playing against an inexperienced Cleveland Guardians team. They benefit a lot from playing at home in Game 5. And I think also you're realizing that Houston has a lot more experience here. I mean, they've been there before, been there, done that. Cleveland hasn't. Cleveland doesn't have. They're not a good hitting team at all. The Astros are, even though they didn't show it against the Mariners, they are a better lineup than the Guardians are. They just are. So I think the pitching for the Yankees may not be as good. And look, Verlander, if he does bounce back, which is a big if, it could give Houston get off on the right note.
You know, it's an interesting matchup, Yankees Astros. Just a couple of stats that's going to come into play here. The Yankees and Astros, funny stat here, they led the American League each. Yankees hit 254 home runs, led the American League. The Astros were right behind them at 214. And their pitching staffs prevented home runs pretty well, too, even with Garrett Cole's struggles in that scenario. The Yankees allowed 157, the Astros allowed 134. That's an interesting thing to watch. I think the long ball is going to be a big part of the series. And obviously the Yankee bullpen. Clay Holmes looked pretty good yesterday. Loaiziaga, I think I pronounced that wrong, but Peralta, Wandy Peralta, they combined, those 3 guys, 0 runs allowed, 5 hits, 5 strikeouts. And then you're going to look at Garrett Cole. We talked about Judge and Stanton, the guys you're paying that money to on offense. Well, Garrett Cole's making a lot of money, and he has performed, albeit against the lowly Guardians, or the lower Guardians compared to the Yankees. Well, it's your former team. It's the Houston Astros. This is why they paid you the money to come here and get the job done in the series. So it's going to be all on him, I think.
Yeah, I mean, this is basically, you could make an argument that this is their season. Like, the season started today. You could make that case because the Guardians, as you said, they're not at the level of the New York Yankees. Let's be honest, they're not. They won 92 games in a very weak division. The Astros won 100 games this year. So it's a lot different in that aspect. Not to mention the regular season, the American League. There's so many few good teams. Like they're very few and far between. So this is really their season. Is right here in terms of competition. It is.
All right, fellas.
That's just me. The Guardians are not a great team. Don't get me wrong. They overachieved this year. Like they give them a lot of credit. Nobody thought they were going to make the playoffs.
Right.
They did, and they forced the Yankees to the brink.
Yeah, they had a real cute season, Ross. But again, the decision not to go with Shane Bieber.
That's my point.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me. But RIP Guardians. The Yankees move on. Let's get some serious predictions, fellas. Start with Nico, the resident Yankee hater over there. Who we picking for the American League Championship Series?
Yankees.
Really?
It's going to be Yankees, Phillies, and Phillies are going to destroy them in the World Series.
All right. You're riding with the Phillies.
Yeah.
I swear to God, if this prediction as another hot take that comes true, I won't know what to do. But you have it, Phillies over the Yankees, according to Nico. Corey, a resident Yankee fan over there.
Disgusting.
You're rolling with your guys in the American League Championship Series?
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
We don't choke, unlike certain people.
All right.
Unlike certain teams.
I can name so many years right now, Corey.
Eric, who you got? Yankees, Astros. Who you think comes out on top?
Astros.
Astros.
Nah. I'll tell you why. It just seemed like they got more. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't there a little bad
But they're
blood?
boring.
Ain't there a little bad bloodness? Ain't there a little bad blood in this series?
Yeah, we haven't even talked about that. Obviously, everyone's going to point to the trash cans, the 2017 series that the Astros just edged the Yankees out. It's going to be different.
Stolen MVPs.
Yeah. Oh, you're doing the Judge over Altuve thing still? All right. Listen, Aaron Judge and the New York Yankees have a chance to really right their wrongs or make up for lost time in that series. They didn't get the chance to go to the World Series against Eric's Dodgers in 2017. You can say it was because of cheating, the trash cans. You can say they just didn't get the job done, and the Aroldis Chapman shouldn't have given up that bomb to end the game. But it should be a really interesting series because of just the talent on these teams and the bad blood that we're obviously going to see. I think we're going to see on display throughout this series. 516-572-7440. That is the number to dial. Yankee fans, if you got any thoughts on the game tonight and the series to follow, please chime in. Once again, 516-572-7440. I want to remind everybody that you are listening to WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. You can catch us not only on the radio if you're listening now, not only on Facebook Live if you're watching now, but iHeartRadio app, Odyssey app, WHPC app. Lots of places to listen to WHPC and WHPC Sports Talk. Well, we'll leave the baseball talk there and we'll move on real quick. I know we got the NBA preview to get to, but listen, Corey's here, Ross is here, Eric's stuck in the middle there. Let's get to the state of the New York Giants. As customary on Wednesday. And listen, the Giants are 5-1, but the interesting schedule coming up. We've talked about it all week long. Jaguars, Seahawks, both road games. They have a Week 9 bye. They are home for the Texans and the Lions, who have left a lot to be desired, even though they have young teams and new coaches. And then Week 12, the Thanksgiving Day game versus the Dallas Cowboys, Eric's Dallas Cowboys. So I'll start with you, Ross. That upcoming stretch, and again, you've sounded kind of like, I know you're excited about the Giants, but you're not really expecting big things in the playoffs and out of Daniel Jones. But look at this. It's the next 4 games definitely are winnable. People are screaming that the Giants might go 9-1. As you roll your eyes, I disagree with that as well. But how are you feeling about the overall state of this team at 5-1 heading into the schedule?
I feel like they're going to win one of these games the next 2 weeks, one of these road games, either Seattle or Jacksonville. They're going to win one of them. They'll have their bye. I think they'll have their bye week 8, week 9. Week 9, okay. So I think they'll go into their bye at 6-2, and I think they'll win the next 2 after the bye. I think that's what I'm kind of shooting for here, is that, and then the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. We'll see. I mean, the one thing I will say is, in the past, we have given Prescott fits in the past, but The question is, are we going to be able to score enough points? That's the big question. I'm not sure.
Corey, what you think? You're over the moon there with your New York Giants. How do you think this next stretch plays out? And what are your overall impressions on Daniel Jones and how the team has played overall?
Daniel Jones, look, I'm not going to say Daniel Jones is a world beater or anything like that. He's just doing his job right now. And he's a tough quarterback. He's tough. Now, if he can do something in the playoffs this year, I believe, that can enhance his legacy a little bit. Maybe give him a little leeway. But as far as the stretch goes, I want to say we beat the Jaguars. I think we get past the Seahawks too as well. I see us beating the Texans and the Lions. The 3 games that I feel like is going to give us the toughest difficulty down the stretch is the Dallas game and the Eagles. Those I think we're going to be able to handle the Commanders just off the fact that they've been a dumpster fire this year, including the fact that Chase Young has been injured. I feel like that franchise is going the whole wrong way, especially it starts at the top and it works its way, especially what's going on with Dan Snyder and everything. Most likely this team's probably going to get sold in the next 2 years. But I definitely see the Giants just making a good play, and I want to say a good playoff push, and I feel like so far right now, I want to say Saquon is playing himself into getting offensive player of the year.
I would expect so because caller Frankie on Monday brought up this point. Like he's doing everything for the Giants offense, not just for the offense. He's the leader of the team.
What about that caller Mikey? He was a good guy.
Mikey.
I hate Mike.
You hate Mike?
I hate Mike.
That's crazy.
Mike's a loser. His name's Mike. All Mikes are losers. Shout out.
Jordan, Jackson, Tyson. Game 6.
No, I'm sorry, but some of them go by Michael. There's a difference.
Most of them go by Mike.
Who calls MJ Mike Jordan?
I want to be like Mike. That's all I want to say. They don't say I want to be like Michael.
All right.
Apologies to all Michaels listening, but Nico, your boy, Doug Peterson says today, I tell you this, you don't go to sleep on Daniel Jones. You agree with that take from your boy?
What does that even mean?
I don't know. Don't sleep on Daniel Jones. Like he can sneak up on you.
No, Daniel Jones doesn't scare me. Saquon scares me. Daboll scares me.
Look,
Daniel Jones is just I don't even like he's a can that can throw a little bit. That's it.
Okay, I'll always say this, and this has always been my analysis of Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
he has the talent. He's on par to me. The talent.
What are you about to say? Don't say what I think you're gonna say.
Yeah,
no, don't say it. Don't say it. Please don't. I'm begging you.
He's on par talent wise as far as he can run and he can throw. He has arm strength with the Josh Allen. He's just
the talent's not there.
He just doesn't have the mindset.
Doesn't have the talent.
That's a big problem, not the mindset. That's a big thing.
Talent is the wrong word. Skill set, like similar, I'll give you, but
skill set basically.
Yeah, talent is the
big can run.
Yeah,
and I would actually go as far as say Dave Jones is a little faster.
Maybe.
I've never. Look, time out. We look, as much as we give him crap for fumbling on that 1 yard line, we gotta admit that was like a 75-yard run. We ain't seen Josh Allen do something like that yet. Stop it.
He was going so fast he tripped over his own feet.
Yes, look, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised at how many stupid things have happened in the NFL. I've seen people running so fast that they lost the ball and literally had to catch it and then went out of bounds.
The NFL just as a whole has been weird this year. Part of why I think the Giants are 5-1. No one expected that, but
look, to this day, I'm thinking whoever made the schedules, they was looking out for your boys this year.
Well, the entire NFC East, like Eric said repeatedly, has had a weak schedule. Everyone except the Commanders, who can't get out their own way with their owner and the quarterback and everything else.
I would say the only team that's holding us down is the Commanders from being the best division in the NFL this year.
Well, it is without question. If you look, it's definitely the top in the NFC because the Eagles, Giants, Cowboys, right? Then you look over at the Vikings, who are 5-1. No other team is above 500. Each other division leader is 3-3. 49ers 3-3, Rams 3-3.
Baltimore
in the AFC, Buccaneers in the NFC 3-3. Like it's been a very mid performance for a lot of these teams here. So the
NFL
Giants
is mid this year, to be quite honest.
It's
Why is it mid? Because the Giants are doing good and the Packers isn't.
You know, it's just boring though.
You know what?
None of these games don't make sense.
It's very boring now.
It's exciting because to me,
the Eagles of all teams are undefeated right now, Corey.
the,
That's boring.
you want to know why the Eagles are defeated? Because they're the most balanced team in the league.
They also
as
have
far
like
as
the
both
easiest
sides of the
schedule in the
do.
league.
They
They have
do.
the easiest schedule.
Yeah. It's not even close.
It's not even that. I would just go because they're the
Corey, they have the
No.
easiest schedule. That's
Yeah,
literally why they're
alright.
5 and
They
0.
had-
Look. I'll put it like this. You seen our schedule last year, right? Who did we play last year? The AFC West. If we play the AFC West this year, that gives us fits.
Yeah.
It's a tougher schedule. If you match up the schedule this year versus last year, they're not 6 and 0.
They're the Eagles last year. You gotta remember they didn't even have a win against a team above 500.
Yeah.
I mean, and against every team that was above 500, they never won at one game until the last game of the year when they were resting players.
You know
so
what?
I'm sorry that schedule plays factors.
But
it does.
this to me, I'm not gonna lie. To me, this is a different Eagles team.
No, they might be a better team.
when you-
They're a better team, but
Yeah.
Their schedule's still very weak.
yeah.
When you solidify that other side with Gardner from the Saints, who was one of their top cornerbacks besides Lattimore. Gardner was one of your top cornerbacks. Was that not true?
the best slot corner in the game, in my opinion.
And then you add a guy like AJ Brown who helps relieve some pressure off Devontae
Yeah, he
Smith.
does.
So I feel like they're just a complete team right now. Especially the fact that one thing that they could always do was run the ball, and that's one of the key components of their offense is running the ball, and it sets up that play action slant or that RPO. And so I just feel as though, to me, besides the Buffalo Bills, they're the top team in the NFL. They're the top team. Like,
I
I don't
have to completely disagree with that, to be honest.
I don't
with you.
feel as little as
They're Pittsburgh. They're a little bit
They
better
are
than
Pittsburgh. That's a great point.
They are Pittsburgh.
With this schedule, they could easily go 13-4, 14-3, maybe even undefeated. They play the Steelers, Texans, Commanders, Colts, Packers, Titans in the next couple of weeks. Those are all easy W's. For
Obviously, y'all bring up the Steelers. They started 11-0 in 2020,
Yeah. Okay.
and nobody respected that at all.
played
Like, we
backup
all knew it was going to
quarterbacks.
happen. Yeah.
outside of maybe the Bills and the Chiefs. Is there any team that you actually give it a legit shot to actually beat the Eagles
Well, in the NFC.
in the NFC?
Not in the NFC, no.
Well, no, but
In the AFC.
yeah.
In the AFC, yeah.
Chiefs
Who
could beat
in the
them.
AFC?
Chiefs could beat them.
Chiefs.
They could definitely.
I
beat the
really
Eagles.
don't see that because I
Chiefs
feel,
could destroy them.
They could.
They can
beat the Eagles.
Destroy
No,
for
because-
I feel as though I said no. Mind you, the question was outside of the Bills and the Chiefs. Outside of the Bills and the Chiefs,
Oh.
who do you see actually beating the Eagles?
Chargers.
I know you just didn't say that after they just had to go fight life and
No,
death with the
no,
Broncos.
listen.
Honestly,
Stop it. And they don't even have Keenan Allen. You have one receiver
They get
who
him back
might
next week.
from a hammy. And mind you, you're not really the same after that hammy. Like, you got to work through that type of injury. It's a soft tissue injury. And you have Mike Williams who hasn't shown up this year. So not the Chargers. Not the Cardinals, because they just been abysmal. As much as Hollywood Brown you thought would be this a good quality. I mean, I think they have Robbie Anderson and you have
but-
DeAndre Hopkins coming back. But the Cardinals have always been synonymous as just choking midseason.
Yeah, but here's the thing with the Cardinals. They beat the Cardinals based off a missed field goal on the end of the game, and everybody's saying the Cardinals are a mess. Well, if they barely beat them, well, then how good are the Eagles? I mean, they're 6-0, but I don't look at them as like a legitimate.
yeah, they're a fraud team.
Who?
They're,
The Eagles.
Nah.
No, I would go as far as
Listen,
I can't call a team fraud when they're dominant not only on the offensive line but defensive line where football is won.
I wouldn't mind you if you
don't
called
think
But
we
they,
can go there.
look, I mean, they let the Cowboys almost beat them.
You
They
mean-
let the
That's
Cowboys
it.
back.
Well, you expect weird things to happen in divisional matchups though.
You said they almost let the Cowboys beat them.
Yeah.
I want to say they have one of the top best defense. Dallas. Stop it.
Yeah,
I can understand if you.
okay.
I can understand if you called the Giants or the Jets a fluke team.
Okay,
but the Eagles are not a fluke team.
Yeah, but
Dallas
look-
is not a fluke team.
But look at the Eagles' statistic. There's a statistic out there. The Eagles in the second quarter are the best offense in the NFL. The rest of the game, they're last.
Also-
they're last in the NFL.
Also,
that's a problem.
Another thing that people don't point out about that Cardinals game was they didn't have their starting left tackle, who's one of the top left tackles in the game, Jordan Mailata. People forget that fact. He just came back last game.
Yeah, they're impressive. I do like Philadelphia, and I think that'll wrap up the state of the Giants. But just to recap, they play for the first time in Week 14 The Eagles and the Giants. That's weird to me. I would have to guess. I don't have a full look at the schedule right now, but I think they play the last week of the season.
Yeah. They
So
do. It's very weird. Like it's
like all of our NFC rivals, we playing them like later in the year. Like the week 10s, the week 15s.
if you remember, I'm sure y'all remember the 2011 season. The Giants and the Cowboys played for the first time on week 14, and then the season closing game in week 17.
Yeah.
Both games the Giants won. So it is something there. We'll see. I think the Eagles are a tier above the Giants.
No, they definitely are.
Yeah,
no question. They're not. The Giants are not at the Eagles level, but I don't think the Eagles are the best team in the NFL. I don't think that. I know their record says that, but they're not. They're not the best team. I mean, record-wise, yes, but the way they play, I don't think that stat that I mentioned at the second quarter and the rest of the game.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's not sustainable. It's just not.
Hey,
They will lose because of that. They will.
We'll see if it happens during this next stretch. And if I heard Corey David correctly, he has the Giants going 9-1 at the end of this.
No. Well, yeah.
You said they're winning all four. So.
Oh yeah. I said when we hit our rough patches, when we start facing the NFC more like the Giant, like the Dallas Cowboys and the Eagles. That's when we start facing that adversity. Like I can see us probably.
So you have the Giants
losing 4 or 5 games about it.
You have the Giants going 9-1 into the Thanksgiving game versus Dallas.
Yes, I do.
That would be something. And I thought that game was going to be trash when the schedule first came out. Like you're gonna put the Giants on Thanksgiving, like, and then now look.
But you have to put that team on Thanksgiving game.
The Cowboys and the Giants.
You have to. Giants Cowboys. That's a Thanksgiving game.
It's not like we never. It's never.
No
really
matter how bad the teams are, it's always going to be a dogfight.
Fair enough.
It's never really a bad game. It's only a bad game when it gets to the second half when you start pulling away.
Yeah. So see what happens. The New York Giants shocking everybody at 5-1. We'll see how their next stretch goes at the Jaguars this week. Nico's Jaguars. Early game pick for your struggling Jaguars right now. 2-1, now 2-4.
Jags are winning.
Jags are winning. All right. Giants fall to 5-2.
They're going to fall to 5-3.
5-3.
They'll lose to the Seahawks too.
All right. I listen, it can go either way. I'm not sold on the Giants. They can lose either of these games. They can win both of these games. So we'll see. We will see. All right. Ready for some basketball, fellas?
Been waiting for it, man.
We played in basketball.
All right, let's try that again. We ready for some basketball, fellas?
Oh, yeah.
Come on now. Season is back. We saw 2 games last night. The Sixers at the Celtics.
One was more entertained than the other.
Yeah, the Sixers. The most notable thing in that game was the flopping. And you kind of expect that with Marcus Smart, Joel Embiid, even Jason Tatum and all these guys on the same floor. But, oh my, did you see that flop where I think Joel Embiid got his leg pulled and then he fell backward instead of forward, getting tripped? I mean, that's what we come to expect with those 2 teams flopping asses. But Warriors on ring night, too. It was awkward seeing Jordan Poole and Draymond Green like right next to each other when they received their rings, but I guess they're just going to move forward, and they look pretty damn good against the... Corey's wearing the Lakers jersey over there. I mean, the Lakers jacket, and I just did this because
to get a fit off.
Yeah. It's a very clean jacket. It's a clean jacket, but the Lakers on the floor.
You was not about to lump me in with that bull job.
They are.
I can't. Because LeBron played decent, AD played decent, Russ actually played decent.
Yeah.
Just everybody else didn't show up.
Yeah, it's
LeBron, unless LeBron put it in his post game. Not a good shooting team.
Yeah, they're not. What did they shoot? 10 for 41?
10 for 40, I think.
Pat Beverly is their best shooter, and that's saying something. And also,
no,
that's horrible.
That's horrible.
Pat Beverly is their best shooter. Look at the percentages. He's the best 3-point shooter. Patrick Beverly.
You know what?
I think that's cap.
This team would have been great for the late 2000s, early 2010s.
Nah, you know what this team would have been perfect with? If they would have won instead of getting trashed like Pat Beverly and all that stuff. They would have been smart and made a trade with Indiana to go get.
No, they can't make that trade. They can't. They're gonna have to give up 2 draft picks to get Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. That doesn't move the needle for a championship roster. It doesn't. In the West, no.
Yeah, nah.
That makes no sense.
It does actually.
No, it really
need a
doesn't.
shooter.
It really doesn't.
You need to shoot. And those draft picks, Could be draft picks don't mean nothing like they used to. Stop
Corey,
it.
they already have no future because they traded all their damn picks for Anthony
Yeah.
Davis. They can't trade more just to improve a mid-roster. It makes no sense.
Go all in.
No,
That's
go
not
all
going all
in.
in. The
Go
West
all-
is loaded.
Warriors, Clippers, Nuggets.
Who are you gonna get in the draft? Who we waiting on 7th graders? Because I think their pick is what in the 2020.
You think the Lakers are going to be good in 2027 or are they going to be hot garbage? When LeBron retires, Anthony Davis finally
We don't
retires with
know.
an injury, like,
Hey,
we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know. They're going to be garbage in 27.
Unfortunately, unlike the Knicks, people actually do want to go to LA for free agency.
Ben, I don't. I'm not going to hear that.
That's not the team in LA you want to go to right now.
Who's the team?
Clippers are way better.
Nah.
Clippers are way better.
better owner,
Time out.
better players.
Last time I checked, when DeMar DeRozan was he was up for free agency, he ain't say, you know what? The Clippers look like the team to go to. You know what team
Because
he said?
they already have
Go to
forwards.
Lakers. Paul George. What team did he really want to go to? But settle for? He really
Settle
wanted to go to the Lakers, but he settled for the Clippers.
So,
Stop the cap.
You sound like every delusional Laker fan that's out here screaming about.
I'm not
Just a
lying,
closeted
though.
Lakers
You are
fan.
lying. You can't
Paul
trade
George
27,
actively
29
said
picks.
it out of
You
his
can't do
mouth
it.
before he re-signed with OKC. He was actively trying to get to Los Angeles Lakers. Stop it.
No. First of all, do you see all the players re-signing max contracts? Because if you stay with your current team, we've seen some Rudy Gobert re-signing for $200 million in Utah. Like, players are staying with their team because there's more money there. They're not just going to run to LA for mid. They're not going to do that. You can't bank your money on that. You just can't. LeBron got like 2 years left. Anthony Davis will, probably have 5 more injuries and be forced to retire. Westbrook will be who knows where. You have nothing. You have to preserve the assets that you do still have.
I bet you money. Look, I bet you this. If Ben Simmons would have never got traded to Brooklyn, he would have got traded to LA. I bet you he would have played in the playoffs, or he would have played the rest of the season.
Well, that's because
he would have been in a happier mind state, as he would have put it.
But that's because the Brooklyn Nets, like we're going to get into later, they don't know how to hold anybody accountable. All their stars just are running that franchise, and it's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Let me tell you something about the Lakers. They blew up that team. You had Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, who is a star now, Kuzma, who else?
Kuzma, yeah, Josh Hart on that squad
Josh
too.
Hart. Am I forgetting somebody else?
You probably are, but your point being they had
They
a really
blew
nice
up
young
that
roster.
team for Anthony Davis, who gives you 40 games a season.
What's that? You missing one key component of that. Did they not get a ring?
But Corey,
They got a ring.
after that ring,
Mickey Mouse.
After that ring,
Mickey Mouse
Show
ring.
nose.
Yes,
It's a
look-
Mickey Mouse
A ring is a ring.
LaMickey, yes,
A
that
ring is a
happened.
ring.
Bubble championship. I don't
Bubble
respect it
A ring
as
is
much
a
as
ring.
everybody else does.
Were they on the court? Were the athletes on the court?
And
Stop it.
It's like they were playing in LA
You play
Fitness,
those.
though.
All right.
First of
Stop
all,
it.
Los Angeles loves their bubble championships. The Dodgers won a meaningless championship, and so is the Lakers.
yeah, they love their they love their little Mickey Mouse titles. That's what I'm trying to say.
There's no fans. I don't count that. I don't care.
No
Win,
fan-
lose,
no-
draw. I don't care. I
And
don't
Corey,
care.
what happened after that championship winning season? They get beat by Eric's Suns. Great game breakdown by Eric in the.
Oh, yeah, I did that in the back. No, yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah, Anthony Davis. We saw what happened. They got bounced out in 6, and then what did they do? A championship core. No matter if you want to say a bubble title, they had a championship core. Caruso, KCP. They blew it up for Russell Westbrook. All right.
That was the mistake. Okay, I can admit that was a mistake.
But that, Corey, what you're saying, it falls into line with everything the Lakers have done wrong. Just blow it all up and put all your chips in the middle and forget your future. Look how it's worked out for them.
You went to get a ring. And at that moment in time, you weren't getting that with Lonzo. You wasn't getting that.
How you know that? though?
Hold up. You
They
really
were
think?
still-
Go ahead.
They were still young. They were still very young. Look at
They
them
weren't
now.
ready.
Look at them now, though.
That's
All
what,
LeBron had to
actually,
do was
no.
wait, and you could have had 2 championships instead of a bubble ring.
because there was actually a lot of uncertainty on that. You had Lonzo with his knee issues. You had Brandon Ingram. People forget blood clots. So we just totally forgot that. Josh Hart, he was a solid player. Caruso was a G League player at that time. So you couldn't foretell all the events that was going to happen. Stop it. We can't go back and play Monday quarterback.
Corey, do you really think if they make that trade with Indiana for Hield and Turner that they're real contenders this year?
They're better than what they are now.
No, it don't matter because you're making that move to be contending for a championship.
Yeah.
You can't. No.
You're not contending.
No, it's just not happening. No.
Name
Blow
the
it up.
teams again.
Just blow it up.
Nuggets, Clippers,
Warriors, defending champs.
Warriors.
It's a lot more teams in the West. The West is loaded this year. Both conferences are loaded this year. There's a lot of talent. There's a lot of teams. I would say across the NBA, there's like 15, 16 teams that's better than the Lakers without question, to me. I know that LeBron's there. I know everybody loves LeBron James. He's going to pass Kareem for the scoring record this year. But Anthony Davis and this guy, even when he's on the floor, he's always hurt. But when he's on the floor, where's Pelicans AD? Can anybody find him? I can't find him because he's taking all these jumpers. When he was in New Orleans, right? He dominated in the paint. He wasn't thinking about all these jumpers. He went to LA and made him soft, and now he's taking 10 jumpers. He's the worst jump shooter qualified by stats in the league. Are you that soft now that you can't remember who you were back? I don't understand. The Lakers are just a mess. I don't mean to spend too much time on them, but
yeah,
God, they're gonna. I don't want to be one of those fans that watches one game and it's like, if the season's over, right? But Russell Westbrook is back, and they kind of made a lateral move at head coach, and LeBron's only getting older. I just don't see it for the Lakers in the West. But, yeah, they did lose to the Warriors, the defending champs, 123-109. Warriors look great. They're the defending champs. It's both teams from the NBA Finals last year winning their games, but this is a New York-based show, so let's get to the local teams. My New York Knicks. They visit Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies. They had quite a year last year.
They did.
But they're going to see them in Game 1 in the season opener this year. And it's going to be a tough game, and it's going to be a tough season. Well, let me not say that. It's going to be a challenge for the New York Knicks to really bounce back from last year. Obviously, the 2 years prior to this one, they went 41-31, fourth seed. They lose to Atlanta. They're coming in with all the hype and everything. You had all the fans saying this. Bing bong. One more time. This was really the craze in New York. Bing bong. And they fell apart.
Yeah.
The Bing Bong curse I'll call it. They fell completely apart. Tibbs looked terrible. Randall looked terrible. We know what happened. They missed the play-in. So, Ross, I'm going to ask you a question because we've gone back and forth the entire last calendar year over Tom Thibodeau.
Right.
And I think we both agree he's not the guy for the job, but you say the Knicks can't keep firing coaches. But I'm like, if he's the wrong guy for the job, why is he still here?
Well, the way I think of it is this. If you're going to plan on firing him earlier in the season, they get onto a slow start or something, they start 5-10, whatever, then why don't you fire him today or yesterday?
Or the entire offseason they had an opportunity.
Yeah. Why would you wait until the start of the season? That's my problem with it. If you were going to fire him in the offseason. Because now, at this point, I already know what's going to happen. They're going to get onto a slow start. Because of that, they know that the coach is on the hot seat. They know that he could be gone, and he's not getting a whole lot of, not respect, but he's not getting a whole lot of, nobody's going to play as hard for him because they know he's going to be gone. So you should have moved on from him in the offseason, let the new coach or whoever the guy is get his system in place. They didn't do that. So for that reason, I'd keep Tom this whole season, give him the year, give him 3 years, and if he's not good this year, then you move on. Then it's a fresh new start, clean slate for the next guy. Because to me, if you're going to start with the new season, if you're going to have an interim now, like what's the point? Like you should have just started that way. So to me, let Tom handle the season. Whatever happens, happens. And if it doesn't go well, you could always move on. But to me, what I'm always going to tell everybody is, don't just think because you hired somebody else, it's going to work. Because it hasn't proven that it has worked. So you want to push Tom out? Good. Be careful what you wish for, because it's not going to work just because they hired Johnny Bryant, because that's the assistant.
I'm a fan of Johnny Bryant, and Quinn Snyder, who Johnny Bryant worked with in Utah, is out there too. So
yeah, he's definitely got a point over here. The Knicks built a roster that they think they can make the playoffs. So why would you fire your coach and then have an interim come in, and then it could probably mess up the whole chemistry with the team?
I agree. Listen,
morale issues, all of that.
For this year, it was, obviously he's here, so I would have said fire him in the offseason, but they didn't. He's the head coach now, and they can't fire him mid-season. And with what I think is a really, I can't say really good, a really solid Knicks team. Listen, we've gone back and forth over the course of the show in the offseason about Jalen Brunson, Corey. Is he the guy at point guard? I think he's a damn good point guard. The Knicks have looked great in preseason largely
He's
because
solid.
of him.
Solid.
He's solid, but when's the last time the Knicks had just a solid point guard?
That's
It's been a
true.
minute. It's been a minute.
And this guy's he's efficient shooter. He can play make, and I think the next guy I'm going to move on to, Julius Randle. I think with Brunson handling the ball more, listen, my biggest issue with Julius Randle is just why are you dribbling the ball up the floor? I know you had
Right.
Kemba Walker, and there wasn't a lot of talent at point guard, but just you're doing too much. You have R.J. Barrett, you have other guys that can kind of shoulder that weight. I don't understand. So he's going to have a lesser role. We'll see how he does this year. Listen, I think the Knicks are they're a wild card team this year.
They're a
think.
playing team. That's kind of what
Playing,
they are.
yeah, definitely.
They're playing. I think that's what they are, and that's honestly what I think. I think they're probably a 9th seed, 8th seed, just because I do think it's going to take some time at first to gel, and when you play teams that are really good, it's going to obviously hurt. What worries me, and this has worried me for the last decade, because this has been very similar. After the halftime. How many times have we seen the Knicks come out in the third quarter or in the fourth quarter and they blow it? They just blow a big lead, and it's happened consistently. No matter who the coach has been, we've seen this. It's been the third quarter of doom over the last decade.
Well, that's where Jalen Brunson comes into play, though. He's like the steadying force that you can trust him late in games. We saw him in the playoffs with Dallas. He was really a killer late in games.
So that should help. Now, again, I think the defense should be okay. I think the defense is going to be okay. Thibodeau is a defensive-minded coach. I think the defense will. With the second half of last year, after the All-Star break, their defense actually got better.
Yeah.
It got better. So, yeah, they weren't winning games, but a lot of the games were very, very close. Like if you really looked at their season last year, a lot of their losses were like 3 points or 2 points. That's what a lot of their losses. So a lot of those games I think they're going to win this year. I think half of those are going to win. I think like last year they were like 10 games under 500. That was their record.
37 and 45.
Okay, so you would say 10 of those were tough losses, right? 10 of those, at least 10. You got to think they're going to win 5 of those. You have to think that. So like if they won 5 more, then they're a 42 and 40 team.
Playing.
Yeah, that's where I have them. I have them as a 42-40 team.
I'm going to shock Alpha Take. I think the Knicks can contend for a top six, not top 6 seed. They're not going to be 1, 2, 3, but contending for that 6th seed above the plane. I think they can do that. I just think not only Randall and Tibbs, they're going to have to bounce back. R.J. Barrett in year 4 or 5.
Year 4.
Year 4. He's the highest paid player on the team now. So I've always said he's better positioned to be a leader than Julius Randle. I mean, we saw Julius Randle try to be a leader last year, and we saw how that went. It was
bad.
Flinging basketballs towards the crowd. He was smacking laptops out of the trainer's hands. Like he was just acting a fool. Like I don't understand.
But that's another thing too. Why I think they're going to be a little bit better than they were a year prior. Do you think? Like I know we're all down on Randle, and rightfully so. But you have to think he would be a little bit better this year. Like he can't be worse.
It would be hard to really be worse than what he was last year. He was like the least efficient.
A little bit better. Not great, but a little bit better.
I don't know. I think Leon Rose need to pick up that phone and give Phoenix a call.
Oh, I trade him for sure. Yeah,
I've been saying I'm so happy you said that because I've been saying that all offseason. It would be like a win-win for both sides.
Exactly, because we need another scorer, a true scorer at that. He can score the ball, obviously. And then we can give y'all Cam Johnson, I don't know which I want, Jay Crowder, a pick. But listen, y'all get some bench pieces and you start Obi. That's the real reason why I'm saying this. Start Obi. You're wasting his talent on the bench.
Yep. I've said the last calendar year when we talk basketball, I wouldn't trade Obi Toppin for God. I wouldn't do it.
That's so true,
Corey, don't look at me like that. Actually, it's a little wild that I said that. But look, Obi Toppin, like the potential on offense, he's an athletic freak of nature. Mm-hmm. And the knock on him when he got drafted in college, when he got drafted and when he was a rookie with the Knicks, his defense. Well, his defense looks pretty good these days.
Yeah.
It looked good to end last season, and it looks good in preseason. So I just don't understand. Like, I hope Randall have a bounce-back year, but I agree with Eric. I think this guy, Obi, should be starting. I think he's a walking, 18-8 in the starting role. You know, dunks all over the place, can change the momentum of games, get up and down the floor, which the Knicks were really missing. Pace of play. Julius Randle walking the ball up the court all game was disgusting. I didn't like seeing that. I hated watching it.
But here's the thing, though. No, it's bad. Tom can't put him in that situation. That's on coaching too. But I will say not having Derrick Rose there that hurt.
That's a big key because we didn't even get to the bench yet. We talk about quickly Obi. We mentioned Grimes, Reddish, but Derrick Rose. Remember, the Knicks were looking pretty good when Derrick Rose was healthy to start the year, and then he gets hurt. You don't really see him for the rest of the season, and it's a complete slide.
Yeah. So you have to think Rose being there is going to add to a few more wins. You have to think. I mean, their bench is going to be pretty good this season. You have to think now. And I think the rotation will be better on the top. The starting line is going to be better this year. I don't think it can be any worse than it was the year prior.
Kemba Walker's gone, so that's good.
Yeah, so I don't, and that Hardenstein that they got, I think he'll be a nice addition. I mean, they should win, to me, 43, 44 games. That's where I have them. They're not going to be an elite team. They're not a 50-win team. They're, to me, a low 40s win team. And their floor is a 36-win team. That's where I have them.
36?
Well, we saw last year they won 37. So anything can happen. I mean, the coach could be fired, and then it could fall apart. Like you could hire somebody else, and it could still fall apart. I mean, we've seen this for years. The only time it really ever worked for the Knicks with a new coach in season was Mike Woodson. That was it. Outside of that, it doesn't normally work. Maybe Mike Miller. I mean, that's it. Mike Miller wasn't bad.
He wasn't.
I actually liked Mike Miller.
He did a lot. I'll always be thankful of Mike Miller, and it seems random, like Mike Miller, really? But he helped change R.J. Barrett's development because Fizdale, his staff almost ruined R.J. Barrett.
Yeah.
He looked like trash.
Oh, he did.
That first half of his rookie year, and then once Mike Miller came in, he really turned things around. We see where R.J. is now. Once again, highest paid player on the team, and I think he has a really great breakout season. But yeah, I think the Knicks can. I'm going to disagree with you, Ross. I think the Knicks can really challenge for a 5-6 seed.
Oh,
I really.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be realistic. I mean, I'm not sure if anybody else said it, but yeah, I see them that 10 to playing range.
That's the most likely place they'll fall.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like outside of the Bucks, Nets, Celtics, you can't see the Knicks being in that Miami tier.
Cavs, Miami, Atlanta.
I think the Cavs in Atlanta they're overhyped to me.
Nah.
They are.
Really?
I think
The
they are.
Cavs?
Well,
Yes.
I think Atlanta is a little overhyped, not the Cavs. The Cavs are good.
I think the Cavs are good, yeah.
The
Cavs are good.
They got Donovan Mitchell.
I won't say Atlanta is overhyped because they got Hunter, Young, Capella.
You're going to bring up DeAndre Hunter.
Wait. They got DeJounte Murray. Think about
All-Star.
Yeah. Think about what that's going to look like.
One second, mind you, look. As much as I'm a LaMelo Ball fan, imagine LaMelo Ball without an actual team around him. He was putting them type of numbers up last year. He almost averaged a triple-double. So I ain't going to say overhyped because you add those pieces like you still have Capella. And I think that you have weapons around. And that's silly. He doesn't even have...
Keep going.
What did you say?
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Keep going. Continue.
But I'm just saying that I feel as though Atlanta is going to be one of those teams that is going to be a playoff lock. Them and
playoff lock.
Really?
Yeah.
A playoff lock.
Mm-hmm.
Playoff lock.
Wow.
I don't see
Them and the Cavs.
I'm gonna tell you my sleeper. Y'all probably gonna look at me crazy.
I know what you about to say too. I'm gonna throw up a guess in who you about to say. If I throw up the thumbs up, that means I got it right.
Ooh,
Detroit.
The Pistons.
The Pistons.
The reason why I thought that is because they killed it in the draft.
They did.
They killed it.
They did.
Ivy, he's like those guards of the Anthony Edwards and those explosive type of guards right now. And you still have Kate Cunningham. I don't know what they're doing with Killian Hayes. Killian Hayes is probably going to get cut or whatever.
Yeah,
you still have Sadiq Bey, who's one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. And I just think that I'm totally, like, from top to bottom, they have a good little solid team.
A playoff sleeper, I don't know, but they do have a nice young team. Jalen Duren, obviously, they got two in the draft.
Now, unfortunately, if Chicago would have had Ball and Levine, I don't know his situation with his knee because he's not going to be playing the first game.
Can anybody figure that out? Like he played in preseason.
Somebody posted the video of like him and Lonzo Ball saying both of them not getting their knee issues fixed during the offseason and still getting paid for it. I was like, how are you a pro athlete and you wait till the start of the season? But yeah, my knee's kind of messed up. Let me do something about that. You don't do that in the off season when you have months to prepare. It's just stupid. And I feel as though Chicago and I think Charlotte, those two teams that last year were like in a position to be in a play-in, they're probably gonna finish in the bottom half. Chicago, if they get healthy, they have a chance to make it back, but slim.
I mean, regardless, I think we all brought up good points. The East is going to be really, really interesting this year, so I can't wait to see how it plays out. And Corey, speaking of guys that really don't want to play, maybe the Brooklyn Nets. They start their season against who I think is a big time sleeper, the Pelicans this year.
I'm gonna make a bold prediction right now.
Oh,
With the Brooklyn Nets.
what you gonna say? What are you about to say right now?
Brooklyn Nets going to the finals.
I said that earlier, right? You
gonna be a
can't
no for
put
me,
it.
Chief.
No, you can't put it out on them though.
No, they're not.
Because if they all stay healthy and play,
That's a big if, though.
it is a big if.
I mean,
Look, Kyrie look like he's saying, I'm gonna get it back in blood this year. Y'all took my season. Y'all took my season away from me. That's
Who took? That's what I'm saying. He did it to himself.
Look, listen. In his mind, he believes people took his season away from him.
boy.
Yeah,
So
'cause
In
he's
his mind, yeah.
psychotic.
Good disclaimer. In his mind.
I'm telling you, know what's going to happen? Right? Kyrie's going to go out partying for 45 games, and he'll miss 45 games. That happens all the time.
Ross, I don't
You
think so
know.
this year, actually. Now he put himself in this position. He could have gotten a max this year, but he blew it.
He's going to get hurt again.
No, the only reason why I think
He's gonna be locked in this year, I
The only
think.
reason why I think that he's going to be serious this year is the fact that you have KD. KD's done with the bull stuff. He's like this. He's like, I came here for a reason. He's like, regardless if we win or not, I'm probably going to leave. So y'all better try your best to do something this year.
The Brooklyn Nets, I expect big things out of KD and Kyrie because Kyrie has to play for the money,
Right.
and KD has to play for his pride at this point.
I think they don't want to go out on a sour note. Like, obviously, I feel as though both won't be there next season.
Yeah.
But you just don't want to go out on a sour note. I feel like Ben Simmons is going to be stuck like Will Smith in the last episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in the house. He's looking like, where everybody go?
Corey, that's what I'm saying, though. I like Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving this season. I think they're going to do big things, but I just can't pick any team with Ben Simmons on it
That's fair.
to go to the finals or do anything significant in the playoffs. Even though Ben Simmons is a perfect match for KD and Kyrie's skill sets, he's too much of a head case. I need players I can trust if you're going to talk about making a deep playoff run. Ben Simmons, I don't trust Ben Simmons. I don't think anybody here trusts Ben Simmons. So I don't know. I get the hype, though. I get the hype. I think they made some good improvements to the roster. T.J. Warren, one of them is not going to play tonight. He's still hurt. Joe Harris, who we haven't seen in
A year.
When's the last time we seen Joe Harris?
A year.
been a while.
Yeah. So Seth Curry's also out. So three big shooters there are going to be out to start the year. I don't know. We'll see what the Brooklyn Nets are able to do in their.
I just don't trust their coaching.
Well, yeah, we didn't even bring up Steve Nash yet.
He's not good. He's just not a good coach. I mean, people want to defend the guy because he's a young coach. He's not a good coach. He's just not. He can't handle the egos.
But Ross,
in my opinion.
that might be true. But whose fault is that he's here?
Oh no, it's not his fault. I'm not blaming him.
Yeah.
You could blame up top, but I'm just he's not a good coach. That's a fact. But that's on Sean Marks. He hired him.
Knicks and Nets start their seasons tonight. It should be if nothing else, we don't know how both teams will do. There's a lot of question marks. It'll be an entertaining year in New York basketball. I can guarantee you that. To close out WHPC Sports Talk today, I wanted to go around the room, give some predictions. I'll keep it short, though. We only got a couple of minutes. We have MVP. I want the conference finals matchup, and I want the NBA finals and the champion. All right.
Get MVP right now. It's gonna be that man, Jokic again.
3 straight? No,
You
he's
think
not
so?
winning 3 straight.
No. I'm just joking. It's gonna be Luka.
Yeah.
Luka's gonna win it. I felt like the finals is probably gonna come down to Brooklyn, and I'm gonna say the Warriors.
Brooklyn. Wow, Nets and the Warriors in the finals. The same thing Stephen A predicted. Huh. Let me find. You been watching First Take in the mornings, bro?
No, I don't.
You're an undisputed guy.
I got school.
Fair enough. Eric, who you got?
MVP, yeah, Luka, but I won't rule out Ant-Man. Just watch. Watch. He
Well, that's
might
a
have
bold-
my
that's
favorite
a
player.
he
bold
might have a
take.
big season.
My favorite player.
Oh,
he just got
He
that.
gonna make an All-Star this year, but I don't know about MVP.
And in the finals, if we being realistic, probably a rematch.
Between who?
Boston and Warriors. You see how Boston played last night?
Boston ain't going
they,
back.
they don't got
Come
Ime.
on.
Ain't going back.
After how that game looked last night, it looked like they don't need Ime. And Malcolm Brogdon played very good.
He did. Hey, it's going to be... The Celtics are interesting. We didn't even get to them, but they don't have Ime Udoka, but I do like their interim guy, and they still got talent. So, but Ross, MVP, and I'll take your NBA Finals matchup.
Right. Giannis.
Giannis
is winning.
My
MVP.
guy.
Yep, he's gonna win it. And then in terms of the finals, I'm gonna say the Warriors versus the Bucks.
You'll take the
I don't know.
champion to be...
Bucks Warriors. Yeah.
All right, we'll just leave it there. We'll leave the finals matchup. Nico, give me your MVP. Give me your NBA Finals matchup and the champion.
Embiid is going to win MVP.
The flopper, wow.
Oh, he's finally gonna get that MVP.
He's finally going to get it. And then in
Finally.
the finals, we're going to go Clippers, 76ers.
Okay, that's that. He's winning.
Yo, in pure Nico each form, he just goes with the hot take. Yo, if this comes true,
He said, I want to go way out there. He said, you thought my Mets pick was there? I'm going way out there.
Nah,
I can see the Clippers.
Clippers are
definitely.
winning it.
I can see
Yeah.
the Sixers if everything goes right for Philadelphia.
So for Nico, it's Clip City, Chip City.
Yep.
Picking the Clippers to win the championship is a bold take. I'll give you that. I got to give you credit for that. I will go with the MVP to be Luka Doncic. I'll take a Bucks Warriors finals. I'll pick the Warriors to repeat. I think Draymond Green, Jordan Poole are going to get over the hump. Whatever beef they have, and I think they just loaded with depth and talent and shooting and all that. I think they go back to back. And they get their 5th championship in the last 10 years or so. So there you have it. There's our NBA offseason preview. Well, start of the season preview. And we'll see how the Yankees do in the ALCS tonight. But for now, we will call it a day on WHPC Sports Talk. From Nico Each, Corey David, Eric Williams, and Ross Levine, I am Joshua Yamahi saying thank you for listening to the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. We will be back tomorrow afternoon at 4. American Hit Radio is up next. Have a great rest of your day.